Okay, so you're here because you've probably tried the standard fibromyalgia treatments, and they just haven't been enough. You're running low on energy, your budget is stretched thin, and honestly, your patience is just shot. This is for you. We're going to dive into a brutally honest guide to 5 alternative therapies that might actually help. Let's get right into it. This feeling right here, this is where it all starts, isn't it? It's that gut punch moment of exhaustion when you look up and realize just how much this condition has taken from you. You know, if you've ever found yourself trying to bargain with a heating pad at 2 a.m., you know exactly what this feels like. It's a feeling that connects millions of us. So that brings us to the real question we're tackling today. When you're completely out of resources on all fronts, where do you even turn? We are not looking for those miracle cures you see all over the internet. Nope. We're looking for practical, sustainable strategies that can fit into a real life with very real limitations. All right, first things first, we have to reframe the problem. To find solutions that actually work, we've got to understand why fibromyalgia pain can feel so impossible to treat. The secret isn't just about chasing symptoms. It's about understanding what's really going on inside your nervous system. And this right here is the absolute key concept. No-see plastic pain. So think of it like this. Your body isn't necessarily being damaged, but your nervous system's alarm system has gone haywire. It's like a car alarm that screeches every time a leaf lands on the windshield. The problem isn't the leaf. It's the oversensitive alarm. It's in the processing. And knowing that, well, that changes everything about how we approach this. So the takeaway is that this is a whole system issue. Your nervous system is basically stuck on red alert. That volume knob for pain, it's been cranked all the way up to 11. And that's exactly why a single pill often gives, just partial relief. We have to shift our focus from finding that one big cure to building a toolbox of strategies that help calm the entire system down. Okay, with that in mind, we need a totally new playbook. Because exploring alternative options can honestly feel like walking through a minefield of scams and false promises. So let's talk about how to do this safely and strategically. You got to treat your body and your budget like you would a small business, with care and a solid plan. Here are 3 huge red flags to watch out for. First, if someone is making massive promises with little to no evidence, like cure your fibromyalgia in 30 days, just run. Second, if they demand thousands of dollars up front before you've even had a chance to see if it works for you, that is a major warning sign. And maybe most importantly, if any practitioner tells you to stop taking your prescription meds without talking to your doctor first, that's not just bad advice, it's dangerous. So think of this as your personal decision card. It's pretty simple. A green light to try something new is when you've talked it over with your doctor, it actually fits your budget, and you can realistically commit a little time to test it out. But if it means stopping your critical medications, requires a huge upfront payment, or the provider gets weird when you mention getting a second opinion, that's a red light, a hard stop. All right, let's get to the good stuff, the 5 therapies themselves. Now, I want you to think of these not as magic bullets, but as different tools. Your goal isn't to find the one thing that will cure you. The goal is to find a couple of tools that work for you, that you can combine to build your own personal pain management toolkit. Tool number 1 is Low-Dose Naltrexone, or LDN. It's a prescription pill that's used off-label in super tiny doses. The whole idea is to gently dial down inflammation and calm that overactive nervous system. Now, this is not a quick fix. You should expect gradual changes over a couple of months. The big rule is that you can't take it with opioid medications, but at around $20 to $40 a month out of pocket, it's one of the more affordable options to discuss with your doctor. Next up, tool number 2, acupuncture and dry needling. By using super thin needles to target specific points, these can really help soften those muscles that feel like concrete knots under your skin. The key here, though, is consistency. A one-off session probably won't do much. The real benefits usually come after a series of 6 to 8 sessions. Cost can definitely be an issue, so you always want to call your insurance company first and ask about your specific coverage, limits, and copays. Okay, tool number 3 is gentle electrical neuromodulation. The most common way to do this at home is with a TENS unit. It sounds intense, but it's really not. It uses a low voltage current to basically interrupt or scramble pain signals, giving you a temporary window of relief. It's not a cure, but it's fantastic for dialing down the pain just enough so you can move a little easier or get to sleep. My advice, try it out with a physical therapist first before you go out and buy your own device. Now, this next tool is one we have to talk about carefully: trauma-focused therapy like EMDR. And let me be crystal clear, this is not about saying your pain is all in your head. Absolutely not. This is about acknowledging that chronic stress and trauma, and that includes the trauma of just dealing with the medical system, can keep your nervous system stuck on that high alert mode we talked about. This kind of therapy helps your system learn that not every sensation is an emergency. It can really help soften the intensity of flares and even reduce the fear of the pain itself. And finally, we have the most powerful and, let's be honest, the most unsexy tool of them all: just downshifting your nervous system. This is the foundational stuff: pacing your energy, prioritizing sleep, simple breath work. I know it doesn't sound exciting, but treating rest like a non-negotiable prescription you schedule in your calendar, it is one of the most effective things you can do. This low-cost foundation makes every other therapy you try work even better. So now that we have these tools, we have to get real about the cost. Managing chronic pain can seriously feel like a part-time job that you have to pay to do. Understanding the money math isn't just a side note. It's a critical part of building a treatment plan that doesn't just add a whole bunch of financial stress on top of everything else. So this table gives you a really quick snapshot of the typical out-of-pocket costs. And as you can see, it varies a lot. You've got LDN, which is pretty low cost per month, and then therapies like acupuncture or EMDR, which can be a significant investment per session. This is why you have to look at these numbers before you start, so you can make a choice that you can actually stick with. So how do you actually figure this out? It's a simple 3-step process. First, check with your doctor to make sure the therapy is even a good fit for you. Step 2, and this is a big one, call your insurance company. Don't guess, ask for the specifics. And third, do the math. Calculate the total estimated cost for a 2 or 3-month trial before you book that first appointment. This way, there's no sticker shock and you can make a clear-headed decision. Okay, let's put it all together into a final action plan. With all this info, the goal is not to do everything all at once. That's a recipe for burnout. The goal is to design a small, manageable, 90-day experiment to see what actually works for your body. This is the big question, right? You've got 5 potential tools, a budget to think about, and very limited energy. It can feel completely overwhelming. So how in the world do you pick your first move? Well, this little triage table is designed to help make that choice a bit easier. The whole idea is to match a tool to your single biggest complaint. For example, if that deep body-wide ache is your main issue, maybe you start by talking to your doctor about LDN. If it's those awful muscle knots, maybe a trial of acupuncture is the right first step. And notice how every single option is paired with one of those foundational habits, because that's what makes everything else work better. And we'll end on this thought. The goal of building this toolkit, it isn't necessarily about erasing pain completely. For a lot of people, that's just not realistic. The real goal is to get to a place where pain is just one part of your story, but it's not the author of every single chapter. It's about taking back some control, making informed choices, and taking one small, sustainable step forward at a time.